Jeff Pavone is the founding partner of Amplify Carwash Advisors and Commercial Plus, a market leader at the forefront of M&A advisory, real estate brokerage, and financing for the car wash industry. Visit amplifywash.com and commercialplus.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to Unscripted, the video series that connects you with market leaders. Today on our Unscripted video, we welcome Jeff Pavone, founding partner of Amplify Carwash Advisors and Commercial Plus. Hello, Jeff, and thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Rich. How are you?
Doing well. So today's topic is on the current state of the car wash market. And Jeff, I know your companies are on the front lines of a lot of these merger and acquisition deals that we see and report in the Car Wash e-news on a weekly basis. So obviously for anybody who's been in this industry long enough, merger and acquisition activity in the car wash market is certainly nothing new. But this past decade has seen a widespread and rapid consolidation as well as growth. So Jeff, I'm curious, in your opinion, why is the car wash market so hot right now? And maybe more importantly, do you foresee any challenges that might slow down the maturation of this market?
Right now it's hot. It wasn't that long ago you had, maybe a couple of players that were consolidating in the car wash space. Today by count, I have at least 15 different groups that are in consolidating in the car wash space. So there's certainly much more, there's more buyers, which makes more activity. I think a lot of driving that activity is the express car wash is proving to be a great institutional investment. And we're seeing that, you can scale the car wash business fairly easy. With memberships, you've got recurring revenue. So it's quite predictable revenue stream. And I think, unlike other segments of the economy and the market, car washes have proved to be recession-proof, COVID-proof. So we're finding the investment community is rallying behind it, and we're going to see, I think, a continued aggressive growth from an M&A side.
Now we see car washes being bought and sold, like I said, pretty much on a weekly basis on Car Wash e-news. So in your opinion, is now a good time to buy a car wash?
So, if you're an individual buying a car wash to start getting the business, it's probably a risky venture. I would say the car wash is moving from a mom and pop business to a much bigger business. And so if you're a regional player looking to add an acquisition to your market, that's one thing. But if you're an individual wanting to get into a market, I would say it's probably a lot more risky than it was in the past, because the business is going to be controlled by very strong regional players and national players.
So on the seller side, is now a good time to sell your car wash?
We're finding that multiples have peaked. We're not seeing multiples going up from where they were earlier in the year. There gets to a point where the numbers still got to make sense, and we are finding that some of our consolidators have a discipline of what they're willing to pay. So from a seller standpoint, I think if they're looking at saying, okay, how high is the market going to go? I think the market's from a multiple standpoint is there. The tax laws with what's happening today are very favorable to selling. I can't tell you what next year brings with the election, and so that could change the capital gains rate. So from all counts, it's a pretty attractive time to sell. The other big risk when you look at operators, everybody's operating at a pretty high peak, but the economy was sort of sizzling along. If we have any downturn in the economy, and then the other potential risk for an owner is we are developing new car washes at the most aggressive clip in history. And so, with the development of car washes being developed, it could risk cannibalizing their sites now. So it's a pretty good time to sell, Rich. Again, I think each operator is going to look at their own strength in the marketplace, and unless they're a dominant player in that region, it's probably a good time to think about selling.
Okay, so for sellers who are on the fence at the moment and don't know what to do, either sell or stay, what advice do you have? What factors should they consider to make this crucial decision?
So I think the important thing is first to probably best understand what your options are. So in today's market, there are lots of options. You could obviously stay. You can sell a minority position in your car wash chain, which is a good option today, and have one of the groups back you and continue to grow. But I do think today I'd say the first thing I would do is, if I'm an operator on the fence, I would consult with an advisor and try to understand what the options are.
Okay. And Jeff, for those who might be considering a sale of their car wash, what are the top 3 things an operator can do today to increase the valuation of his or her car wash?
So I would tell you the thing that most of our investors that are looking to buy car wash chains today are looking for a few things. Certainly one is your position in that region. What I would say is the strength of your chain within that market. So having a good pipeline of additional acquisitions or development is really important today. 2, having a solid bench, and that really means if you have a good team that is operating your car wash chain, and that team can be transferable to a potential buyer, really attractive. And then you probably want to look at your books and records to make them clean. At the end of the day, when somebody comes to you and offers you a really good price on your car wash chain, having good financial records so you can actually close that transaction quickly is key. So some of the things that you may want to start, if you're thinking of selling, preparing for, prior to going to market.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you've been a great resource for professional car washing and detailing and carwash.com over the years. We thank you for that partnership. If anybody has any questions about buying or selling a car wash, there are certainly advisors and consultants in the market, such as your companies here, Jeff. So we certainly appreciate your help understanding these different dynamics that are occurring in the car wash market today. And we thank you for your time for doing this interview for carwash.com.
Thank you, Rich.